Yep, baby.
Because it's time. We're back. Hello, everybody. It is Leafs Late Night. I'm your host, Roscoe, joined by Biehn, Suthy, and Steph the Fanalist. And it is playoff time.
Yeah.
So we're going to do all of our predictions for all the series and then we'll finish off with, I guess, who we want to get Bedard, because I know we talked about that, but I don't think we had a group discussion about that. So that's what we'll finish with. Cool?
Cool.
Okay, so starting with the West, we have the Seattle Kraken for the first time.
First time ever.
The Colorado Avalanche. You know what? We should do an intro though, shouldn't we?
Yeah, let's do that.
Proper show. I guess it's been a while. It's weird not doing this after a game. I don't have no clip to open with. This is so weird.
It's all good.
Does anybody have anything they want to share before we start?
Well, how was the Growlers game? Like Biehn just asked you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, I guess I can talk about that. So I mentioned on the last episode that I got tickets for a Growlers game, and thankfully, one of our listeners, Ryan Willie, who lives out here, thanks Ryan, pointed out, I hate to be the one to tell you this, but that's an away game. So I bought 4 tickets to a game in Reading, Pennsylvania, which is it answers my question of why I got charged in US dollars for those tickets.
Yeah.
So I became what I hate most, and that's a reseller on Ticketmaster. But I really had no other choice, so I think I flipped them. I didn't check to see if they sold or not, but I hope so.
I hope so. Oh my God, wasted money, but
No kidding.
oh.
So that
Supporting
didn't
the
happen.
franchise.
What else have you been up to?
Lots of good food. There's tons of good food here. It's insane. Like, even things that are quick, like Mary Brown's, which I know you have in Oshawa, but like I've had it in Oshawa. It is not as good as it is out here where it originates.
It's the salt in the air.
But other than that, like the oysters I've had and the cod, fish and chips, tuna. I haven't had any sushi yet, but that's been highly recommended. But like tuna tartare, oh my God. So much good seafood. It's crazy.
Nice. Oh, jealous.
Weather is wild. Like I woke up and it was snowing this morning, and then it was foggy, and then it was sunny for the rest of the day. Like people are not kidding. It changes on a dime here.
All 4 seasons in one day.
It was today. It was crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
I saw an iceberg today.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah, we were.
let's see those in Ottawa.
We were going to look for some small towns around St. John's to film. It's not the same as driving around outside of Ottawa. There's not the same selection of cute little towns. They're a lot different. It's a lot more like houses instead of storefronts. But anyway, we're driving along the water, and I see this iceberg, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's an iceberg!" The person driving is just like, "Oh yeah, that just happens." I'm like, "No, that's cool. I've never seen one."
It's probably the only place where you might have to shovel and also get a sunburn in the same day.
Yeah, honestly, there wasn't enough to this morning, but like the other day we got 2 centimeters, and then it was sunny in the afternoon, like all day. So definitely could have happened.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're
rain
here.
too.
Rain.
Yeah, me too.
Snow, fog.
But
You understanding everyone out there?
I'm getting there. I've learned most things. By the end, I will attempt to showcase my best Newfie accent. We'll see.
Oh.
Can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, same.
That'll be interesting.
What else? Oh, we went to Kitty Vitty, which is like this little fishing port town. It's really cool. A bunch of little huts on the water, and there's like this brewery there that used to be an old fishing station, I guess. And yeah,
nice.
it's just, I don't know, really cool place.
And
Have
as
you
I
been
s-
screeched in yet?
oh,
Not yet, no. There's a couple of us that need to be.
Oh, okay, yeah. You're going to do it at once for sure.
Yeah, so there was, it's a matter of finding an opening for like, I think there's 5 of us. So, yeah.
Wow. Well, as I sit here facing you guys, it's only Biehn and I who are smooth like baby's bum. The rest of you did not shave for playoffs yet, and it's quite disappointing. So we better see that tomorrow night, guys.
I'm not shaving the mustache off.
Oh, come on. Oh, fine.
If he's not, I'm not.
Oh, my God.
But the Leafs don't play until tomorrow night. And
Yeah, I'll do it.
But the playoffs start tonight.
Yeah, but
If you're
Not
going
in here, it
superstition,
doesn't.
you got to go full out.
I'm doing you guys a favor, okay?
No.
Yeah, we get the best of
Maybe
both
you're-
worlds.
Oh, no, I mean,
We covered
like, I'm
both
still
sides.
going to
Wait,
win.
Wait. Has your missus seen you without facial hair?
Probably not.
I think I had to for some reason. I feel like I did for like a costume or something.
Really?
Not like clean.
So, no.
No, not like mustache gone, I don't think.
Yeah,
Well-
it's fair. I mean, like with this face, you'd probably see this beard at a high school dance, so it's not really anything to write home about.
I was going to
Suthy-
say, now's the perfect time, Johnny. If you're away, she can just see pictures of you,
Yeah.
and then it can grow on her. And
It'll grow back by the time you return to Ottawa, and then she'll be able to face you again if it's as bad as you say. I don't think so. Come on.
let's look at it this way. You're not going to be shaving again until the Leafs are knocked out, which that's going to be a while. So
Yeah.
Ayo.
You might
So-
grow the best beard ever.
I go from people don't know how old I am to it's embarrassing how old people think I am.
Hey, respect to Biehn. Prepared tonight. He doesn't give a shit, guys. Suthy, come on. No one can guess your age anyways. You look young as fuck, boy. But
I am
Johnny...
I don't think anyone
very
can guess
true.
how old any of the 3 of us are, to be honest. Any of the 4
Fair.
of us. I think we all look pretty ambiguously aged, if I
Let us
must
know on
say.
Twitter what you guys think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let
give
us
us your
know.
best guesses and be nice. All right, let's talk hockey.
Hi, this is Mike Ross, public address announcer for your Toronto Maple Leafs, and this is the Leafs Late Night Podcast, your post-game destination. And now, your starting lineup. Roscoe, the Fanalist, Suthy, Biehn, and Darty Brodeur on the Leafs Late Night Podcast.
All right, welcome back to Leafs Late Night, presented by Inside the Rink, where it's never too late for the Leafs. And I just shot my girlfriend a question to see if she has ever seen me clean shaven, because I actually don't remember. And I'm curious now if I'm going to be scaring her with this.
Yes, please respond and say, no, you must do this. Because this is
Yeah.
the year we have to see the full beard in action, guys. Like, start to finish. In June, we'll get that final showdown, anyway.
I like to think, maybe this is me being crazy, but I like to think that I'm one of the more reserved ones on this group. With regards to emotions for games, like I see a lot of the positives in this team.
I think that's fair.
Oh, yeah.
When watching playoff games, I am like a completely different animal. Like my wife won't watch playoff games with me because she thinks I'm going to have a stroke.
Get ready for
one.
playoff Biehn here.
Yeah.
Like when Kapanen scored that overtime winner against Washington, my God, I don't think I've ever screamed so loud.
The
Love
neighbors
it.
check. You okay there?
Oh, I'm
Safety
gonna be going out to a bar to watch these games. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Nice.
Big Leaf fans there. It's either
Yeah.
Habs or Leafs, and I guess everyone's on the bandwagon out there. No Habs for them, so. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, I can't wait, man.
So update. She
I know.
says she thinks she has seen me mostly clean. Like she said, I definitely. You shaved the beard, but kept a little bit of the mustache once. I think she says maybe 90%, if not 100%. So we're both on the same page of like maybe, but I don't remember.
So now ask.
That's not like don't shave. So I think you're in the clear if you do want to do it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do it.
Just do it. Just do it.
Boy.
Should we like take a break halfway through and I come back without it, or do we just?
That's a good idea. But
okay, so let's talk some matchups here. So, like I said, we'll start with Colorado, and for the first time, the Seattle Kraken making an appearance. Who wants to take a stab at what the Seattle Kraken save percentage on the season was?
Oh, sub 900.
yes. Probably like an 887.
880.
I'm going to be nice and say 896.
Okay, so Philip Grubauer with a 285 GAA led the team with an 895 save percentage.
Okay.
Backing up, Martin Jones had a 299 goals against and an 887.
Okay.
Martin Jones played 600 more minutes this year. So what was that, 9 more games? Yeah, so sub 900, and they make it in. What do we think is going to happen here?
Well, the biggest difference, right? Last year in their inaugural season, they only had 27 wins for 60 points. And this year they come out with 46 wins and 100 points. So to me, they're kind of reminding me of the St. Louis Blues that didn't make their way in because they have at least 6 players with a minimum of 20 goals. So the scoring is pretty even throughout their lineup. If they can get some okay goaltending, and they have good names, right? It's not like they have shit goaltenders. Hey, you never know with this team. Colorado, Landeskog, who is expected to return, will not be returning for the playoffs. They're pretty injured, but their D-core is up and coming next week, or this week, sorry, now.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to count Colorado out just because of Landeskog being gone, but I mean, Kadri's gone too. It's not the same team that it was last year. They got a different goalie now. I mean, I think it's hard to just give them a pass through to all these rounds. Like, I've been seeing people in their predictions just because they won last year. Like, it doesn't really mean that much looking at the team. That being said, Seattle really has no business being in the playoffs this year. The fact that they got 100 points is insane with the goaltending they got. Like, I'm glad they're on the way there, but it's more the players carrying it than like the management and structure of the team. And I think it's going to really show in the playoffs that they're not built for that. And Colorado just having that experience through the depth of their defense and the rest of the team that is still there, I think they'll just have an edge. I don't see Colorado coming out of it, 4 games. I think it's going to be a bit of a challenge, but again, I don't see Seattle being able to keep up with them.
Colorado in 5.
You think 5?
Colorado in 5.
Yep.
I don't think they're getting enough respect as like the defending Cup champions here. Actually, like Landeskog's not there, whatever, but they still have McKinney who's playing at a very, very elite level right now. They got Makar on the back end. They have guys who know how to win. They've done it like last year. Yeah, they're definitely not getting enough respect, I think, right now.
You're the champs until you're not.
Yeah, and like I've been saying, Rantanen is the sneaky 50-goal scorer that happened this year. So like they still have some firepower. I don't know. I'm not giving them the shoe-in that other people are. Steph, what do you think?
Yeah, Seattle's the sneaky team for me. Like, even though they have no one in the top 50 in scoring, they're tied for 4th in the NHL in goals per game. So I feel like if they're able to just get going and just score from all angles of their roster, they could maybe, the series could go to 6 or 7. Like, they could be really challenging. And Landeskog, I mean, captain, 22 points in 20 playoff games last year. Obviously, he's going to be missed, but it's the Avalanche we're talking about. Makar has to stay healthy. He missed 40 of the final 44 games of the season, and it's just like, there's hope, of course. I think Colorado in 6.
I also think Colorado in 6. I think Seattle wins the first game, and then like the third or fourth. I think they're just going to catch them off guard because they're fast. And like you said, you've got some really deep scoring talent there for some reason. Jared McCann is just having a great season. I think they're just going to underestimate them the first game and then get a handle on them. And then I think Seattle steals one more and that's it.
We see it all the time, right? Everybody chirps Leaf fans for saying, "Oh, you can score in the regular season, but wait till you get to the playoffs. Wait till you get to the playoffs." And unfortunately, for the most part, it's been true because scoring dries up. So without that bona fide superstar, like McCann's been great, but this is the first year he's really had a breakout like this.
Of course,
right? So yeah, it's going to dry up a lot for them, and we saw it last year. It's very difficult to win a series when you have sub 900 goaltending.
Yeah,
that's what Suthy gave us.
Again, nobody here's saying they're going to win.
I think Seattle's going to have a hard time winning on the road, but their home crowd, I think, will carry them for one game, and that's why I have them in 5.
Sweet.
Fair.
Okay, so next one is... Remind me here, Dallas and
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Ooh, this is a tough match.
Dallas in 6.
This was one of the hardest ones for me.
Okay.
Honestly, Dallas is probably the one team that is sneaky scary to me in these playoffs.
Like, both these teams have good goaltending, good defense, and good scoring. So it's a really even matchup. They both got playoff experience. Like, this is a really hard one to pick from.
I think Dallas and Minnesota are both very well-rounded teams, and obviously someone like Fleury can heat it up because he's been there so many times in the playoffs. But same as Biehn, I got Dallas in 6 on this one. I think they come out on top.
I also had Dallas in 6 just because, I don't know if he's coming back, but losing Joel Eriksson-Ek is pretty big for Minnesota. And just with, I mean, man, Jason Robertson's been on another level, and he wasn't even supposed to be like their main guy there. Like, it's just an extra bonus for them that happened. So
Wyatt Johnson's come in and been actually really good for a rookie.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Pavelski's still there. Yeah, I think as good as Kaprizov is, I don't think there's I'm blanking on who else is on Minnesota, but like the veteran presence is kind of gone there now, isn't it? Besides, I mean, you've got Fleury, but
Foligno, Dumba, Spurgeon.
Yeah.
Like
Matt Boldy.
There's no Matt Boldy's he's young though, but he's been very good this year for them.
Enough to win a few games, but not really get it done.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So again, I think I agree, guys. So with Dallas in 6. Steph, what do you think?
It's tough here because Dallas is having a great season when you're looking at specific players on paper. For example, Robertson was 5 points short of tying a franchise record this year. He had 109 points. Bobby Smith had 114 in 1981-1982. Jamie Benn is right back on track, getting 78 points this year, his highest total since 2018 after him and the other guy who's overly paid, right, Tyler Seguin, barely cracking 60 points, 50-odd points last season. And then with Minnesota, Gustafsson, right? I really like this goalie. I think he can really... And then, Fleury has the playoff games under his belt. 167 playoff games. Gustafsson has none. I think the ultimate factor here, the stats don't lie, Peter DeBoer has never lost in the first round of the playoffs with a new team. That's including the Devils. Yeah, Devils to the Cup final in 2012, Sharks final in 2016, and then Vegas Western Conference final in 2020. But Ottinger, oh man, I gotta go Dallas because of Peter. And they're 2-0 head-to-head this year, too. It's hard. It's really hard. But I'm going to go Dallas in 6.
Fun fact for those kids out there who may not know this. Steph talking about Robertson close to tying a franchise record with Bobby Smith from the 80s.
Yeah.
At that point in time, it was not the Dallas Stars. It was the Minnesota North Stars.
Ha-ha! Look at that.
Nice. And
how crazy is that you can... take it. I don't want to get into it, but stats following the team and not the city is a whole other discussion.
Biehner, question: When was the last time the NHL had a Seattle team in the playoffs?
It was during what was this the sickness that shut it down? Spanish flu in 19
early 20s.
I don't know the year of it.
Close.
It was supposed to be.
Close.
It was supposed to be Seattle versus. I want to say the Metropolitans folded. 23.
Yes. No.
Okay, that was a complete guess.
1919. The Seattle Metropolitans lost 4-3 in overtime versus the Montreal Canadiens in Game 5 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And that was the last time they were in the playoffs, a Seattle team in general. Yeah, and I know you spoke a lot about them before, Biehn, and you were really close. Spanish flu era. Yeah, you're on it.
Well, if I remember correctly, they were supposed to be in the final that year. Before the lockout, it was the only year that they had never presented the Stanley Cup.
Oh.
So I've got to know now, so I'm looking it up, but you guys can keep talking.
Update to the playoff beard situation. I was asked why I'm asking these questions about have you seen your clean shaven? And I said, because playoff beard. And she's like, okay, it'll be grown back by the time you come back, right? Because if so, go for it. I'm like, that's exactly what they said you'd say.
That's a green light.
Yeah, it's happening.
Green
Live.
light, buddy. Live.
Okay, what was your Dallas in 6, everyone? Sorry, Johnny.
We all said Dallas in 6.
Okay. Just trying to keep track.
Next up, we have Edmonton and LA. There's one before that, isn't there?
Yes.
There's Vegas and Winnipeg as well.
Yeah.
Vegas and Winnipeg, right? Let's do that one first.
Interesting matchup. First time they see each other since 2018, since 2018 in the Western Conference Final. And Vegas, third time taking the Pacific Division since 2018. And we get to see Jack Eichel for the first time in the playoffs, guys, in his career.
I didn't even think about that. That's crazy.
Buffalo hasn't qualified since 2012, and we have the return of Mark Stone, who had 37 points in 43 games prior to injury. Winnipeg gets Ehlers and Perfetti back. It's going to be a tough matchup, in my opinion.
There's some great storylines, too. Like, Laurent Brossoit used to back up Hellebuck, and I think Hellebuck's actually what's going to propel Winnipeg in this series, so that's another interesting matchup to watch.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just going to say goaltending edge definitely goes to Winnipeg, as anybody would say. It's not like a hot take there by any means. But I'm interested to see how many guys on Vegas are magically healthy again and also play in this series, because that's going to be the difference maker, because on paper, Vegas is just stupid. So if they pull out all the stops in the playoffs, it's going to be really tough for Winnipeg. Is man, I don't want to rag on them, but it seems like they're just almost there. It's just a morale thing, and I mean, there's just been so much around that team that I don't think they've been able to pull themselves together as a unit. Like they're just good enough skill wise to get themselves there, but I don't know. Leadership-wise, if they can really get there yet.
I'm kind of going the other way, because I thought they were so scrappy towards the end of the year that kind of maybe brought them together a little bit. That with Hellebuck, I have them winning this really, really tight series in 7.
Ooh, interesting.
Vegas is 3-0-0 against Winnipeg head-to-head. Just looking at the injuries here, Mark Stone has been confirmed to be good to go now. The rest that's left: Nolan Patrick, which whatever, Aiden Hill, there's Jonathan Quick and Brossoit, there's Logan Thompson and Will Carrier. You're not really missing anyone except the goaltending, which Jonathan Quick has really filled that gap after trade deadline.
Is Thompson healthy
again?
A
game or two.
Not yet, but he's day to day, so you never know.
So he's probably fine.
And also Bruce Cassidy putting up a franchise record with the first year with this team in Vegas, 111 points.
Just a beauty, coach.
I've got Vegas in 6.
So, sorry, I had to look it up and I had to touch on it.
Yes.
It wasn't the 1919 Stanley Cup Final. I know I'm ridiculous. The 1919 Stanley Cup Final was postponed to the Spanish flu, so technically nobody won it. And the Metropolitans folded as a team in 1924. So
Okay.
we all weren't too bad.
My source failed me then.
Well, no,
I got
that
it
was the
from
last
the-
time
No,
they were.
great question though.
That was the last time they were technically in the Cup Final, though. They were in a
Nice.
different league at that point, so the winner of the NHL played the winner of the PWHPA. Or not the
Oh.
PWHPA, the PCHA.
Nice. Well, I think Sportsnet failed me today, so thanks a lot. And,
They've been failing Canadians for years.
That'll happen.
You mean you weren't looking on ESPN or Fox Sports like me? I find they're pretty good for stats.
No, I didn't need to order the stats page from Wish.
Fuck you.
Anyways, I have Winnipeg in 6 for this series.
Ooh.
Basically coming down to Hellebuck. Not anything against Thompson or Quick or anything like that, but the Jets had a really hot start to the year. They were really good for a good portion of it.
Yeah.
And I think they can get back to that, especially in a series like that.
Yeah, I mean, to what Suthy said, they do have that physical element. Like, they are a really scrappy team. So if they can piss the Golden Knights off, who, I mean, look, they're all coming back from, we'll call them injuries, but these guys are not in the same playing shape maybe that a rough and tough Jets team is. So they could get a couple there, but I still think Vegas is going to take this one just because of the history and who's on the team, like just the star power alone. I think they'll be able to break through. Hellebuck's just going to be the difference maker. He could stand on his head, and that's it. They could win 4 games in a row.
Vegas is for sure safe money here.
Yeah. Agreed.
Okay, last in the West, we got LA and Edmonton.
And they meet again.
This is like the story of stars old and new here. So, what do we think's going to happen?
Well, last season, Edmonton took it after trailing 3-2 in the series. One of the two matchups that are the same this year, Toronto, Tampa, Edmonton, LA. So are the Kings good enough to beat them this year? Because Fiala is dealing with an injury still. Velarde is also scratched for game 1. Gavrikov, but I guess the dark horse here is also Korpisalo. He's been really leading the way for this team, and I don't know. This is a tough one for me, just because everyone's been hyping up LA. I just haven't been following them close enough to have a great opinion about the team. But I'm also rooting for McDavid to go to the Cup final, and if it ain't us, I'd rather it be them. But as Biehn shakes his head.
So I've got Edmonton in 7 in this one. So I really like the Kings, the way they put this team together, the way they've been playing all year. Bringing Korpisalo in as basically an upgrade on Phoenix Copley because Quick wasn't playing that well for them. And then a big factor, like they didn't have a healthy Drew Doughty last year.
Yeah.
And I know he's getting up there in age, but he is a big difference maker for this team.
Yeah.
So the fact that they almost did it last year without him, I think they can almost do it again this year with him. If Fiala's healthy, then they could even sneak away with this.
Yeah, see, I think it's such a deadlock because you've got a team that can score outscore their problems, basically, and then a team that can out-defend their lack of scoring. So it's, is the combination of Doughty, Kopitar, and Deneau able to keep them down from scoring? And, if Fiala comes back and he squeak a couple in past the shoddy goaltending that Edmonton's coming in with, that's going to be
That's
really
the line
what
you got to
happens.
ride, right? Because Kopitar and Deneau are some of the two best two-way centers in the league, no doubt about that. And you got to think LA obviously has the upper hand in net, but the way McDavid's playing right now and Draisaitl, I think they're just going to grind them a little bit more than they can handle defensively. So I have Edmonton in 6 in this one.
I've
They're
got
pretty close.
Edmonton in 7. Yeah, I'm with Biehner. I think this one's going to be so tight. It's going to come down to like 1 or 2 players making the difference. Just because, like I said, it's like a deadlock, rock in a hard place. You know, a movable object and whatever, that whole analogy.
So Biehner and you say Edmonton in 7. Excuse me.
And I got 6.
You have 6. Right, McDavid's taking home the Rocket Richard Trophy this year, 64 goals, 153 points, guys. Oh, my God. First player to break it since Mario Lemieux had 161 with the Pens in 95-96. And also league-leading, record-breaking power play with 32.4%. I like the top 6 way better in Edmonton, of course. I don't know how I feel about Byfield still. Victor Arvidsson heating up in the second half of the season has been nice. Trevor Moore, too, Leafs legend.
Leafs legends all over these discussions, man.
But our Edmonton Maple Oilers, man, I'm rooting for them, so I'm saying them in 6.
I just don't know. Like, I'd be more worried about Edmonton's defense if there was a big scoring threat from LA, but like really it's gonna be so tight. Like, these are not gonna be high scoring games. Like,
you can't forget the addition of Ekholm too. He's a great piece that they picked up at the deadline. And if Nurse can find his game a little more than he has, that's a pretty good 1-2 on D.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I still think Edmonton's gonna take it. It's gonna be tight. Okay. So, do we want to do like the whole thing, or do we just want to stick to the first round?
Oh, the whole thing, but I think we should go east-west. West-east, rather, and keep going back.
You don't want to get to a winner on it? Okay. No.
Oh, we will. We'll do the first round in the east and then come back second round in the west.
Okay.
Okay.
Or however you want. You're the
Well, I'm just thinking because we stayed on these teams.
Shots. That's way
I'm
above
just thinking we're on these teams already. Let's stay on the West, and we'll pick our winner for the West, and then we'll go to the East and find out who gets to face them. So, going back up to the top here, we picked
Colorado
and
Dallas.
Yep.
Unanimously.
Yeah.
What do we think here?
Colorado in 7.
Colorado in 7.
Jesus, Suthy.
I know. I have them written down. I got proof.
We're going to have one. Suthy, we're going to have one in the East that's completely different. I can guarantee you that.
Oh, yeah.
I've got Dallas in 6 on this one.
Oh.
It's going to be such
if you're
a tight
right
series.
there. Yeah, if you're right there, Otter's winning the Conn Smythe.
That's bold.
This is hard. My heart is saying Dallas just because I want like the underdog to take it, but my brain is like, no, Colorado. So I'm saying Colorado in 7. Yeah.
I'll gladly eat shit on this one. I want it to happen, and I think it's a possibility. Like I said, it's not the same Avalanche team from last year. It's a team that's going down. Well, there's a Dallas team that's on the rise that has had playoff experience the last couple of years. So,
okay.
All right. Next up, here you have them written down. What do we got?
We're split here. So half of us are going Winnipeg, the other half are going Vegas, and all versus Edmonton.
I mean, Edmonton I have winning. Does anyone not have Edmonton winning against their opponent here?
Edmonton in 6 over Winnipeg.
Same.
Fuck, Peter.
Oh, nice.
We did not coordinate, I swear.
For me, if it's Winnipeg, I think Edmonton sweeps. If it's Vegas, Edmonton in 7.
Wow.
I had Edmonton in 7 too. Against Vegas.
We'll see.
All right. Next up,
Okay. So it's the East now.
No,
Well, no,
who's
we got the
take it
East
to the
final,
final.
or
Sorry,
Western
sorry.
final.
Okay.
So Suthy and I have Colorado, Edmonton.
So I think Colorado's end is with Edmonton. I think their experience will take them this far. However, I think McDavid, if he makes it to this round, he's going to be so possessed that Colorado really doesn't have the secondary scoring to compete with that. So I have Edmonton in 7.
This one I have in 6. But
Edmonton,
same
though?
Edmonton, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So, Steph, we've got Edmonton, Dallas.
I said Colorado. I think my brain
right.
said Colorado. I'm going Edmonton in 7. Yeah, it's going to be a
I'm
real
going to say
tough.
I'm going to say Edmonton in 6. Like Suthy said, like if McDavid makes it this far, it's going to be an unstoppable train at that point.
Yeah, they're just going to run down everyone. If Stuart Skinner and Soup and Stew can stay hot.
Soup and stew.
Yeah, they'll be good.
I don't know.
All right. Wait.
They're
So
going to be the
before we
difference
get to the
maker.
next round, I just turned the $5 parlay into $708.
You did it?
Oh my god!
Did it. Here's the parlay.
Dude.
It's between, obviously, Boston and Florida. I had Boston under 6.5, the game under 6.5 goals. Boston puck line minus 1.5. Marchand to score. A first period goal in the first 10 minutes. Second period is the highest scoring period, and Boston the last team to score.
Congratulations.
Dude, bravo. That's insane.
Wow. That is real cool, honestly. What was the odds on that? I'm actually trying to look it up here.
The odds
plus
were
14,000.
plus 14,171.
Holy shit!
6-leg parlay.
That is insane.
Knew that was a
I
good
should have
parlay.
bet more.
Damn, I looked at that. I was like, why didn't I think of this?
That's crazy. Okay, and with that, we are on to the East.
Yes. Oh, the juggernauts.
The East is tight.
Boston,
I mean,
Florida.
except this one. Boston is
Yeah.
going to run Florida over.
I think Florida wins one game at home.
Biehner, you're making a face. What happened?
Fogle, as you said, Boston or Florida's going to get run over. Fogle just like completely barrel rolled Korpisalo into the net.
Oof. From the little bits that I caught, Florida was doing a good job hemming them into their own zone for a bit there, and the pressure was tight. I mean, the Lion King in net, I believe he's going to take them the longest way possible, if anywhere at all thanks to him, Alex Lyon. This kid he's not even a kid, he's 30 years old, guys.
The
Florida
shots
had a
were
lot of
pretty
shots on net.
one-handed, yeah.
Yeah, he was standing on his head, and obviously Boston is Boston. I saw Marchand go down in the beginning, but he got right back up and scored a goal for you, Suthy, so that was good. Bergeron out
Man.
tonight.
I'm going to take like 3 showers after cheering for Boston tonight, but good on you, boys.
Oh, damn. Yeah, making NHL history. 135 points, 65 wins. The current Prez Trophy winners versus the previous. So it should be
Boston
a good
in 5.
Yeah.
That's what I've got. Boston in 5.
Oh, Boston 5, eh? Okay.
It's like Kachuk's the only one who's scoring on that team and leading anything. It's
Verhaeghe.
really evident. Verhaeghe, but not without Kachuk being there. Like,
What happened to
I don't
Sam
know.
Reinhart? And like,
so many other guys are having a down year, like defensively, like Ekblad and the other one, fantasy-wise, were just killing me. Reinhart was like my worst draft pick this year. I was so mad.
No.
Now, That game had a lot of physicality in it too, like from both sides. There was like many times. I saw a couple times McAvoy was just getting railed up against the boards and behind the net. Bertuzzi skated by and ripped the stick out of Dylan Cousins' hand and brought it to his bench and broke it.
Steph, I can't see you.
Nick Cousins, sorry, not Dylan.
I was going to ask because it's my stupid internet, I'm sure. But I can rejoin if it's better.
We can hear you.
No, you're here, but like turn your camera off and back on and it should work.
Okay.
Because it doesn't say it's not working. It's just like it's black.
Cannot. Sorry, guys.
Well, then leave and come back because I'm not doing that. Bye. Okay.
Bye.
So, while Steph's gone, what is it about Boston that you think really just clicked this year, man? Like, this is just stupid.
Their 1-2 punch in net obviously was a huge thing. I think once they had that anchored off them, all the experience they have past it was a massive year. Bergeron, Krejci playing the normal selves. Marchand is your second weapon on offense. They're just a stacked team, and they play the right way too. Like, they're really hard to play against.
Do you think it got to them hearing everybody talk about how this was going to be the year that they start to take a step back and everyone's counting them out? Like everyone's preseason predictions had, I mean, not everyone. I'm not going to count everybody out of this, but most high-profile people had them slipping this year. Do you think that got to these guys and they're like, no, not yet?
I think they're a bulletin board type of team.
Yeah. Welcome back,
Thank
Steph.
you.
Okay. So, did we all give our picks for Bostonian versus Floridian?
I agree with the Boston 5.
Sweet.
Did you all say 5?
Sorry, Florida. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Speaking of Florida, did you see all the rain they got?
Yeah.
It was
that was
St. Peter's.
The flooding?
Yeah, it was like they got 26 or 27 inches of rain in like 5 hours.
Oh, wow. I did not see that.
That's just
unheard
an
of.
unfathomable amount of water. That's what she said. So moving on to the next one. Is it the Leafs? The next one up? Yeah, Leafs in Tampa.
So, do we end the 19-year drought, or is it a rematch that's going to repeat? Tampa Bay trailing 3-2 and coming back in Game 7. This is just, when you look at the numbers, it makes you feel hopeless in a sense because there's 0-9 in chances to close out games, 0-6 in previous sixth-round opening series. But this is different team, same core, completely different bottom six. We ended the season on the best streak yet, 4-0-1. These new additions, I'm confident.
Toronto, if you look at like the trajectory of the both teams, like Toronto was obviously going in the right direction for the last half of the season, whereas Tampa Bay was not. But they are Tampa Bay. They've made the finals 3 years in a row. These guys know how to do it, and I think they're going to win a couple of games. But Toronto will close it out at home in 6.
Ooh.
And if they don't, like they have to. They can't go to Game 7.
Well, Game 6 would be in Tampa, Suthy.
Oh, yeah, you're right. My bad. Regardless. It's ending in Game 6. Sorry.
Nice.
Yet again, Suthy and I are in lockstep. Sure.
I've also got Leafs in 6. I mean, look, they've proved that they can start these series well. It's near the end where things start to fall apart, and I think that's the thing that changes this year. So I think they come out strong and they continue it. I mean, of course, it's Tampa. They're not going to win every game, so I think it's going to be in 6, with Tampa winning 1 at home and obviously 1 in Toronto.
Yeah, Stamkos said today, we're the 3-time defending Eastern Conference champions. No. Yeah, okay, bud, but your team changed a bit and your 5-pick trade deadline acquisition is injured. hope you get better soon, But the only other
He might play this series.
maybe, but the other players are Perplex and not really bigger names. I mean, I'm really liking. I mean, Darren Radish and Nick Perbix, Achari, Lafferty, McCabe, Shin, Gustafson, Ryan O'Reilly, and McCabe playing in his first playoffs as well, guys, after 504 NHL games. These guys are hungry. They hate to lose. I'm saying Leafs in 5.
Ooh, baby. Love that. I think the addition of Luke Shen and the other defensemen is going to be the biggest factor here. Like, yes, having Ryan O'Reilly is going to be important, but at the end of the day, your important forwards just need to show up, right? Like if Matthews, Marner, Nylander, and Tavares continue what they've been doing all season and just dominate offensively and defensively, then Ryan O'Reilly should be a bonus that, gives you those late game insurance goals and, is kind of helping generate the depth scoring. Whereas I think what's going to be really important is just, all these new defenders that have come in to, stop anything from being dangerous. They've really cut down on the amount of high danger shots this year and protected their goalies well, and cut down on a lot of the mistakes. I think apart from a few guys who have maybe bumped themselves down the lineup because of that play heading towards the playoffs, Liljegren. But I think otherwise they're going to be able to match the physicality better than they did last year. The biggest question mark is going to be bunting, I think.
We have some new dad energy on the team with Sam Lafferty returning with new baby Hudson born on Friday or Saturday on the weekend there. And Samsonov.
Lafferdaddy.
Yeah, Lafferdaddy. Samsonov, a new daddy. I don't know. I just feel like these guys are on it. And this is the time. Like Corey Perry, also 3 final appearances. This guy must be pissed, right? Like hasn't won a thing, different teams, but we're looking better. I don't know. Ryan O'Reilly, man, 19 points in 4
He's going to be a
games.
huge series changer.
Oh, yeah.
Like the depth that we added is not only like great, but it's so beneficial. It's playing a team like Tampa Bay too, because you can roll almost any line against these guys now and match it up, which is not really what we had last year, right?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Yeah, Ryan O'Reilly, 19 points in 40 games with St. Louis, being a -24. Since he's come to Toronto, he has 11 points in 13 games, a +3. Things are just trending upward. And a lot of talk about Matthew Nyes. He's scratched for game 1. That's confirmed. But Keefe said, like, the kid hasn't even seen the ice at the Scotiabank Arena yet, guys. Like, he hasn't even skated on the ice yet before the interview happened. So he gets a front row seat with Tavares allowing him to live in his basement, going to the rink every day early and watching the routine, maybe taking some notes. And we might see him in game 3 or 4 if there's an injury popping up.
Or even just like a nice wrinkle to add too, because he does play a big man's game. And if you want to throw Riley down on the third line, at least a spot open for him too if Tavares goes back to the center. Like Keefe has a lot more options this year than he did last year. At least like a lot more better options.
And Tampa doesn't. I think that's the biggest thing is if anything happens with Vasilevsky, they have nothing really to back up on. Like Elliott's not seen much game time this year, we'll say. And
not to mention McDonough not being there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're down a lot of guys. They're down their depth, right? They don't have the same. They spent all their picks the last couple years. They didn't have a ton left, and they blew it all on Jeannot, who's now down for at least for now. So yeah. I think that's where the Leafs have the edge here, and that's going to be the difference maker in Leafs in 6.
Yeah.
Because it is Vasilevsky. So
14, 15, and 5 after All-Star break for Tampa. So we'll see.
Yeah, they haven't been good since. And what's their record since like trade deadline? It's even worse.
Yeah, not looking good. But Brian Elliott did play an awesome game against us last time. Good thing we had the upper edge there. But also they dressed a full lineup, and we had like Connor Timmins playing 4th line right wing, and Gio sat, Mitch and Matty sat. So
yeah, Wall was in net. Yeah, it was. It's hard to base anything off that game because, of course, Tampa's looking at it going, why are we going to try and kind of fall into this trap? So it's tough to base anything on that, but I am looking forward to the series, obviously.
Okay.
And that's why Toronto has to close it out relatively early, because the further this series goes along, the more their players draw on their experience, and they've been there before, right? We don't want that.
Yeah, and like I said about Bunting, the longer he has to get annoyed by guys like Maroon and Perry and Belmar, it's going to go in Tampa's favor, right? Like, they're not going to fall for his shit for the whole series. So exactly. I think the sooner they get in and get out, the better.
Yep, totally agree.
I think you pronounced a couple names wrong, Roscoe, of who he's going to get annoyed by.
Oh, you mean Stamkos and Kucherov?
No, I mean Wes McCauley and Graham Skilliter and Dan O'Rourke.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, definitely. People are saving them for tomorrow night. So they were saying on Twitter there.
Of course they are. Fucking course they are.
Bye, Steph.
Oh, Steffi. So we lost Steph again.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Just visually.
Just
the
visually,
same to start off.
And my camera settings, I can't click it.
So get out of here and come back. Make my editing life hell. So the next one is Carolina and Islanders?
Yeah. This is the one I think that Suthy and I are actually going to differ from.
So I could like both of these teams a lot. Obviously, Carolina's missing some of their offensive power. Svechnikov gone and Pacioretty. But the Islanders, the goaltending is, I think, superior than what you're going to get from Carolina. And their team play is really, really good. I trust them defensively. I have the Islanders winning in 7, despite losing game 1.
Oh.
I have that exact same thing.
What?
Get the fuck out of here.
This is more unpredictable than the bet I won tonight.
I screenshotted my thing and I used the pen on it to write all the games beside it.
Oh my god.
Well,
I swore you would have been picking Carolina there. There's a reason I did these picks on this side. But
Biehn.
I don't trust their tending and the offensive. They're just missing 1 or 2 guys.
I'm shocked.
They started Ranta tonight.
Oh.
I know.
Biehn, you love your Carolina Hurricanes, I thought.
I do. I do really love the Hurricanes, but I just think that they need one more heartbreak before they go full world power.
The loss of Shevnikov really played a toll on them. Their PP dropped from 21.7% down to 10.9%. They were 11th in the league, and they dropped to 31st. And
holy moly.
Goal scoring.
That's a massive drop.
Yeah, they were averaging 3.33 goals per game, and they dropped to 2.72. And another fact I saw online, Puck Empire pointed out, Freddie Anderson, 35% of his games, he had less than 20 saves. So that's not a good sign for the playoffs. And even though this team is 3rd overall in shots, they're 15th in the league in goals. And 2 out of the 3 guys they picked up in the off season, 2 of them failed to play combined 7 games. Andre Kasha, Matt Pacioretty. So yeah, Brent Burns there. I still believe.
I think they're going to have a real tough time scoring.
Yeah,
that's what I think too. And especially playing against the Islanders, who play such a defensive game, and with Sorokin in that too, it's enough, I think, to carry them to Game 7. But it'll just wear them down by then.
Yeah, completely agree.
I am still going to go Carolina here. I just don't trust the Islanders' offense enough to outscore Carolina's offense, even with Shevnikov missing. But their goaltending, right? Everyone's raving about the goaltending, and I'm going to go 7 for Carolina. I think it's going to be a long, grueling series. Low-scoring series. Not as expected with Carolina.
Very tight.
Yeah. Carolina in 7.
I have the Islanders in 7 because it's the team, like, they're built for the playoffs. They're not built for the regular season. That's very evident. They play a very boring game. Nobody likes watching the Islanders except for Islanders fans.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
the additions that they made, pardon me, at the deadline, plus the goaltending they have, like, I just think they're going to be able. It's going to be a really boring series because both of these teams are really good at limiting shots. Like, you mentioned that Freddie only had less than 20 shots in some of those. I was trying to find how many shots against they had compared to other teams because I remember whenever the Leafs play them, it's like, why do we have 16 shots in the third period here? Like, what's going on? They're really good at limiting them, and so were the Islanders. This is going to be a deadlock defensive game. It's going to be so fucking boring. But I think it's going to be 7 games of boring, guys. It's going to be the most exciting, boring series, and it's going to be the Islanders at the end of it.
Pierre Engvall, Game 7 winner.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. If we have to face Pierre Engvall in the playoffs, I swear to God.
We will.
That won't happen.
I'm just
I have it.
like a fuck you to Lou, going with Carolina.
Oh, wait, no, I don't.
That I can respect.
Okay. Next
So,
up.
Johnny,
Yeah.
shots on goal against Carolina was the best in the league this year.
Yeah. Okay, there you go.
82
tight
games,
game.
2,133 shots on net.
And where were the Islanders?
They were 15th best, so right in the middle of the pack.
Oh, that's actually kind of surprising. And just while you have it open, where were the Leafs there?
The Leafs were 7th best, just better, 27 shots better than Boston.
Nice.
Boom.
Love that.
Fuck you.
There were some crazy high shooting games this year, though. Like, there were an abnormal
Yeah.
amount of games with 50 shots this season.
Yeah. Man.
Okay, last one. We've got the Battle of the Hudson River. This is probably the coolest matchup of them all. We've got the New Jersey Devils and then the New York Rangers.
First time all 3 teams from the New York and New Jersey metropolitan area are in the playoffs in 16 years, with the Islanders including that. 4th time in history. It was 90, 94, and 2007.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I was listening to one of the other sports podcasts, and they were talking about how jealous they are of all the reporters that get to go to New York, because you get to go to the New Jersey and Rangers game one night, and then the next night you get to go to the Islanders game, and just go back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah, the schedule's looking good. I mean, at least they stagnated the games this time around.
So what do we think of this this Battle of New York and New Jersey?
Blue
We did
shirts
our
in 6.
preseason prediction. I had New York Rangers winning the cup, and I also have them in 6 on here.
Of
I
course.
think the Devils are a great young upstart team, but with Tarasenko and Kane and just the firepower they have up front, and obviously their goaltending, I think they have a huge advantage there. I think Trouba's going to play like a big boy here. Yeah, I got the Rangers in 6.
Interesting, just looking at the Devils lineup, they have Timo Meyer on the 3rd line.
What?
Yeah, 3rd line left wing with Eric Holla and Boquist on that line. We have
That's a disgusting third line.
Tatar,
Yeah, I get
Heischer.
trying to spread it out, but
Yeah. You have Tatar, Heischer, Mercer, and then Palat, Hughes, and Bratt. That's a sneaky top 6. But
Sneaky top 9.
you're facing, right, Patrick Kane and Tarasenko, the newbies on the Rangers, who are 2 huge names of themselves, joining Mika Zibanejad, Chris Kreider, Trocheck, like
Artemi
Breadman.
Panarin.
Panarin,
not to
Breadman.
mention they're
Jeez.
huge playoff performers.
Well,
And I
look,
mean,
look at the
Adam
kid line from
Fox,
last
like,
year.
we can just keep listing names. This team has just been spending and stacking themselves up like, the Leafs of the States.
So, Suthy,
Just flexing that money.
what'd you say? Rangers in 7?
6.
6.
6.
Being
Yeah.
6. I feel like Shesterkin's going to steal the show for them. I feel like the goaltending is the one downfall for the Devils here, and not just the lack of experience, but man, this is tough. I'm going to go Rangers in 5. Fuck the
I almost
Devils.
went 5.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. This is the only one that I don't remember if I had the Rangers in 6 or 7, but the bracket thing won't let me look at it, and I didn't write them down. But yeah, I've got the Rangers winning this one. I just think it's going to come down to the fact that they've stacked their team. They have better goaltending. It's not going to be easy, though. Obviously, like we've talked about, there's a lot of young talent on the New Jersey Devils, but nobody had them making the playoffs this year, let alone being a top 5 team in the league. So I think the story's got to come to an end sometime. I don't think they're going to ride it all the way to the end. So
No, I think Jack Hughes is probably going to pull a win out of the hat in the second last game of the series to try to keep the Devils alive. He's just going to go full beast mode because that kid is incredible. But I don't think they're quite there yet. Between everything you guys have said about...
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, everything you guys have said about the Rangers already, all the players they have, like the kid line was phenomenal last year in the playoffs. Hedel, Lafreniere, and Kakko. On top of all the superstars, you have Igor and Net. Like they've got a really strong team.
The Devils are incredibly fast, and they attack like crazy too, but I think skill is going to outweigh them in 6 games.
yeah, it's just going to come down to separating like established skill from lucky new young talent that are having a good season.
So last time they faced each other was in 2012, and the Devils...
Sorry, I don't want to say lucky. They're not lucky. They're just, it's, you know what I mean? Beginner's luck. It's like how, any of the new expansion teams are decent except for Seattle.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on.
The Devils beat the Rangers in 6 games to advance to the final. Also, 2006, they swept the Rangers in the conference quarterfinals. Can you name the only active remaining player from the 2012 series?
Like in the league?
Right now, entering the series.
That's an easy one.
Okay, then Johnny Suthy?
From which? Say that again.
The Devils and the Rangers last met in the playoffs in 2012. There's one active player that played in that series entering this current series. Who is it?
Can't do it.
Whoa.
Your fave. It's your fave.
My fave?
Yeah.
What does
You
that
really
mean?
loved him in fantasy last year.
Thomas Tatar?
No. Well, that's a good guess because he's older. But no. Who did you have in fantasy that carried your team?
That's a very broad question.
And broke 50 goals.
Who is it?
Chris Kreider.
Oh, Chris Kreider was around that long ago?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have guessed.
Yeah. Surprising, right? That's what
Wow.
I thought I'd ask y'all. Did you know that, Biehn?
It wasn't that the year he came right out of university and was on fire for the Rangers, or was the year he did that when they went to the Cup final?
Good question. Because he's one of the, 3 players that did enter right out of college and jumped right in the NHL.
His first year was 11-12, right in the playoffs.
Steph, I'm not getting recording from your end at all. Leave. Get out of here.
All right, let's start
Johnny's gonna have fun.
the next round here.
Okay, so first up, we've got the Leafs and the Bruins.
So Leafs are on a path of destiny here. They have to slay all the demons in order to get to where they want to be. I think riding the momentum of beating Tampa, they are going to grind it out, and it's going to be a fucking bloodbath. But Toronto is going to win in 7.
Buddy. No match there with Biehn.
Toronto in 6.
Boston, Toronto.
Steph.
Boston's too cocky. Boston is way too cocky. They're going to come after winning in 5 games against Florida, President's Trophy. They beat the Leafs 3 series in a row. They're going to be way too full of themselves. Bergeron, Krejci, Marchand were all there back in 2013 when the comeback happened. And they were there the last 2 times since then. They're going to be way too cocky, and they're going to fuck it all up. Leafs in 6.
Ooh.
2
Steph.
demons in a row. Slay the first-round demon, slay the Bruins demon. Let's go, boys.
Honestly, I don't even want to see the number 7 in any of these Leaf series. Like, they have to do it in 5 or 6. And for Boston, it's going to be 6. Leafs win in 6.
Oh, I thought you picked Boston.
No.
I just need the
no.
Leafs to
Sorry.
win a game 7, and I want it to be against Boston. So I'll be picking Leafs in 7. We got to break all the curses here on the path to glory.
Exactly.
What did you say, Suthy? I missed yours.
Leafs in 7.
Okay. Thank you.
And here's where things get a little wacky. So we've got different combos here. Steph, what's the first one?
Well, it would be Carolina and the Rangers. Or that would be only for me, I guess, because the rest of y'all picked the Islanders and Rangers. So I'm going to go Rangers in 6.
I think this one is a wash goaltending wise, but offensively wise, I think the Rangers just have way more star power and scoring power than the Islanders have defensive. I got the Rangers in 5 here.
Ooh, against the Islanders, eh?
I've got the Rangers in 6 here for the same reason.
Nice.
This is where I stopped picking with my head and I started picking with my heart.
Yeah.
I've got the Islanders in 7.
I know you want the Islanders so bad to face the Leafs.
I just want to hear the draft noise. Just kidding.
That,
Path
I'm
of
not doing it if
Destiny.
he scores against us.
Path of Destiny. Islanders in
I probably
7.
will.
Islanders, Toronto, Eastern Conference Final. JT gets the series clinching goal to send the Leafs to the Cup Final and send the Islanders fucking packing
Toronto
At
versus
UBS
the
Arena or
Draft.
in Toronto?
at UBS Arena.
So much better.
How many games?
6.
Ooh. Suthy?
Oh, I had the Rangers beating the Islanders in 5.
Ooh. Johnny?
Rangers in 6.
Wait, sorry. If we're still talking the New York series, I had 7 games for that one. So
Okay. Okay.
I got ahead of myself and went to the conference final.
So let's go to the conference final.
Did you just say 5 or 6?
Well, you just heard mine.
Thank
6.
you.
Leafs and Rangers is a really, really, really tough matchup.
I feel more confident.
This is where I feel like I'm picking with my fandom more than I really don't know if the Leafs can beat the Rangers in a 7-game series with how this team is built. Just with the it's like if the Leafs had a godly goaltender behind them. Like it's tough to. I mean, the advantage the Leafs have from having Matthews and Marner, does that outweigh that? I don't. It's going to be such a close series. I don't know. I want the Leafs to win. It's just really hard.
If the Leafs can go through Tampa Bay and then Boston and exercise those demons, I think the momentum and like the energy in that group, in that locker room, it's going to propel them over the Rangers in 6 games. I think it's going to be a high-scoring series. I think it's going to be a little run and gun. But if the boys are healthy enough, I really think Toronto takes this.
I agree. 6 for Toronto. Rangers scare me the least out of the path for the Leafs. Boston, like you said, Tampa. I don't know, man. 6 for me.
I'm going to say Leafs in 7, but I think it could honestly go either way.
Fair. And how about you, Biehn?
This is where I'd Leafs in 6, with JT scoring the game winner.
Yes. That's a good one. So, I guess down to the cup final, right?
Cup final.
And I think we've got Leafs Edmonton.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, everyone chose Edmonton. So, Leafs Edmonton, how many games? And who wins?
I had 7 games, and the Leafs winning with 36 total goals scored in the series.
Ooh. How about you?
See, I had the Leafs winning in 7 with 55 total goals in the series.
How about you, Suthy?
I had the Leafs winning in 6, but I didn't have a total goal score here.
I also had the Leafs in 6, and I picked 27 goals because I think it'll be tighter and then not.
Low scoring.
Yeah, maybe no. You know, Edmonton, if they're all the way to the final, and like I said, it would be nice to see our counterparts win in compare. Like if the Leafs don't, McDavid deserves a cup, guys. Come on, like this guy's a legendary player, and Draisaitl, like. If the Leafs don't do it, I hope they take home the cup and maybe. Okay.
I definitely.
There's a lot of legendary players who have never won a cup.
Yeah, but Jack Campbell, maybe he'll smile again. And
I definitely predict like McDavid and Draisaitl are going to carry this team, and every round they get past, they're just going to get hotter and hotter and better and better. And same with the Leafs, like once they exercise all their demons. So it's going to be a massive final. I think it's going to be a couple blowouts here and there. I don't predict it to be too close. I think it's going to be extremely high scoring, but I do have the Leafs winning it. And I have Sammy being the big difference.
And this is the Stanley Cup final that puts Gary Bettman over the edge to finally retire.
yes,
He would have an aneurysm if it was 2 Canadian teams.
no sitter Ovi.
So,
Yep, no sitter Ovi.
oh my lord.
First time in 17 years. So, hey, it's Canada's turn, I think. Has to be. 3 teams?
And I know we all picked Toronto here, but this doesn't really feel like Homer picks the way we did it, right? There's a clear path that I think they have, and I think they're actually going to do it this year. And if not, then
Season 3
interesting offseason.
fucking depressing, guys.
So a little fun thing that happened this year was that The Edge from WWE gave out that belt to Morgan Riley, and they gave it to someone on the team every time the Leafs won. And fortunately, Katie at Itch Mitch Marnie on Twitter did a tracker of who won the belts. I don't know if you guys kept up with this tracker, but there was 45 out of 50 games confirmed tracked. Can you guys name who won the belt the most this season?
Justin Hall.
Marner?
Sammy.
William Nylander with 5 times.
Oh. You know what? That
He was hot.
checks out. He had a bunch of really good games at the beginning of the season. And first half,
There
probably.
is an asterisk. It's believed that Murray may have won it 5 times as well, but there were 2 times where it wasn't confirmed, but he had the best performance during both games. And there seemed to be a trend where the leadership group wouldn't take it unless there was like a milestone hitting that night or something along the lines like that. But man, 27 Leafs have won the belt this season. I think that's pretty great to be honoring your players as they come in and
Employee of the month.
right?
Depth.
So much depth. And there was another stat too of certain Leafs who got it on their first game as a Leaf this season. Could you name who did that?
Ryan O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Yes. Wait, where is is it?
Joseph Wall.
Zahorna,
Eric Shalgren.
Zahorna.
Oh, Zahorna.
Yeah.
Nyes, I think. Oh, wait, hold on. Where did it go? Oh my god, did I just lose it? But yeah, it was just, I think 4 or
Nice
5
generous.
players that did it. And I thought it was impressive. But anyway, thanks for doing that, Katie.
That's fun.
If you're listening.
Also, real quick, we have some sent in picks for the first round here from Marty Zylstra that we're going to read out here. TML Fan and Van, what do you think is going to happen in round 1, courtesy of Biehn?
So Marty has Leafs over Lightning in 5, Rangers over Devils in 7,
Ooh.
Boston over Florida in 5,
Okay.
and
Same.
Carolina over the Islanders in 7.
Ooh.
Okay. Going the way of Steph.
And then in the West, he's got Vegas in 6. He's got Colorado in 7, Dallas in 6, and Edmonton in 6.
I respect that he thinks Colorado's going to 7 too.
Yeah. Good pick.
And Seattle.
Marty and I were texting earlier. We're both the passion's boiling over in us, guys. We've got good feelings about this team this year. Seriously.
And if you'd like to hear the expanded take on what's happening in the playoffs this year, go ahead and check out Sports is Fun, hosted by Marty Zylstra himself, on all your favorite podcast platforms.
Yeah.
So, the last thing that I wanted to talk about is who, on the flip side of all of this chat, who do we want to see end up with the number 1 overall pick?
Ooh, so tough.
Yeah. I think it's going to be the Ducks or, well, Arizona, I think will get it. But if it's not them, the Ducks.
So, I guess dumb question, who do we think is going to get it? Where do you want to see him go? Him being Connor Bedard. Between,
we talked. Sorry.
Yeah, you and I talked about it.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit. I'd honestly, out of the teams that are towards the bottom of the standings, I would really love to see him go to San Jose.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that team deserves to get a franchise-altering player like him. They have done everything they can right from the get-go. They've got one of the nicest jerseys that's ever been designed, and they've never had that like they've had very good players. When Thornton was traded there from Boston, he was incredible. When Heatley was there, he was incredible. But they've never had the next step, like that next tier up, and they deserve it. You look at Anaheim; they had Korea, they had Solani. Perry won a Hart Trophy and scored a ton of goals when he was younger, right? Like they've had a lot of players. LA, like Gretzky, right? Like all the other California teams have had someone. It's their turn. Chicago doesn't deserve it with all the BS that's gone on in that city this year. Montreal, please, dear God, no.
That's my pick.
Oh.
I think it's just so much more interesting if they have someone great. Like they haven't had someone a huge marquee player like that in how long, really, like that they've drafted.
But
I hate them, but I want to see them go there.
The Arizona Coyotes won't win it. And yeah, aside from San Jose, maybe Columbus. Like they had Rick Nash back in the day, so it might be nice to see them get a star. And a plus side of Columbus, they're close by. We could go to games fairly easily, but
I feel like if he goes there, it's just Rick Nash again. It's a countdown until he leaves.
Yeah, exactly. I don't disagree with Suthy just for the case that the Atlantic is so stacked that I think it would make things a little interesting instead of having these matchups set. Like we go into the season with Boston, Toronto, Tampa, and then Florida flirting with it depending on the year. Like it's just everything's been so status quo in the Atlantic for so long, and it's just so much money there between these teams that I feel like it would be fun to have Montreal be competitive again. I know they're building towards that, but this would just kind of set them over. My first choice, though, like that'd probably be my second choice. My first choice, I have to agree with you. San Jose would be fun. Anaheim's got their kids. They kind of blew it. I don't like the management situation there. I don't think they would surround Bedard with a decent team in the next couple of years. I think San Jose can offload some contracts throughout the end of an era with Couture and Vlasic's deals and all that. I think, and I don't know. I think they'll be able to build a good team over the next couple of years, make themselves relevant again.
Dallas Eakin will not be renewed next season after 8 years with the Ducks. So
he gone.
Yeah,
Toronto
a lot of
Marley
firings,
legend.
Or parting of ways. Just looking at how much money they got coming off the books in San Jose. If any of these guys' deals are almost done. Ooh, Thomas Hertel and Logan Couture signed until like a bajillion years from now. I forgot about that. But other than that, it's just Erik Karlsson and Vlasic that we're kind of stuck with.
Could you imagine Karlsson being able to play with a talent like Bedard, though, with his resurgence from this year?
It'd be unreal.
He never had a forward like that to play with in Ottawa.
No?
That'd be cool.
No, I'm just looking, though, the rest of the team's kind of depressing.
Yeah, it would be a true rebuild, I think.
They have some young prospects overseas still.
Poor James Reimer, and going back to free agency end of this year.
Yeah, it's
You'll have
going
to
to
get
suck
back up
when
somewhere.
Yeah,
Where do we think
we'll
James
take him in the
Reimer's gonna
KHL
wind
because he won't wear a Pride jersey.
Ooh.
Someone will sign him.
Stars are leading 2-1 in the second period. 8 minutes to go. Oilers are up 2-0 at the end of the first. And Hurricanes won tonight 2-1 versus the Islanders. Bruins won 3-1.
Oh, shit.
Just a little update for y'all.
Yes.
I didn't realize the Hurricanes game was over yet, so damn. The PP coming
I was
through.
actively not looking at scores for this, but I know Suthy
Tight
had
game.
literal money on the line.
Carolina, both goals coming on the power play, so that's what's really lethal for them. Even though Shestnikov's not on there, well, damn. But we'll see. Draisaitl already scoring.
We shall see, and it all starts tomorrow night. Holy shit, guys!
All 3 goals.
Pavelski's going to the quiet room.
Ooh. All 3 goals in the Wild and Stars
tomorrow
game
night?
are on the power play. Sorry.
We might see us beardless. We might not.
Hopefully. Maybe.
I'm gonna do it.
Data
Why not,
boy.
right? We're here.
So he's like, no.
Game time decision.
That's
Oh, man. Dumba really hit Pavelski. That's not fun to watch.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm excited to go watch this game.
Okay, well, with that, we should get out of here. Thanks for tuning in. Let us know what your predictions are. Send them in on Twitter and on our Discord. You can join there. We've got brackets going and stuff. There's probably still time to join if you are listening to this just as it comes out. I think there's about probably, I'm going to say 12 to 18 hours from the time this episode comes out. You can still join. We'll see you there, and we'll see you all tomorrow night. Oh my God, it's playoff time!
woo.
Let's go.
Game 1. Prediction?
Ooh.
Prediction game 1? No. 5-2 Leafs. 5-2 Leafs.
I don't want to start doing that.
Marty thinks a 2-1 game 1 loss,
Oh,
and then 4.
I'm not prepared for this.
knock on wood.
I can't do that. I can't. I don't even have anything.
I'm with you, Johnny.
I'm not doing that.
We'll recap.
We are recappers, not fortune tellers.
Yes.
Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Leafs Late Night.
your night of post-game podcast. Available after every game on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Audible, and more.
I went back and forth like 2 hours debating if I should pick Toronto or Edmonton. I know Toronto's going to win. That's my pick. But I think if I picked them, I was going to fucking curse them. So
Yeah, same.
I'm still not sure if I did the right thing here.
I lose every bracket because Leafs never go all the way. But this is the year! This year!
Kira's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, if you... You're crazy. Anyways.